Hey everyone, Angelo here, homeless filmmaker in LA. Haven't showered yet. I just wanted to talk. Been talking all morning. So, my dad passed yesterday. I didn't even think I'd choke up when I said that. It's scary because I can't even process it. I got my depersonalization disorder. What I hope from all these videos, and I can't know it in the moment, I'm just wiping off dust on my steering wheel. What I can hope is that this whole collection of videos is not just a tragedy, but it's an overcoming. I can't know how. I never know how I'll recover from my disorder, and that's like my number one task. I don't even want to acknowledge, what happened to my dad. What's the point of saying it? Good thing is I'm not as sick as I could possibly be. Yes, it hurts, and assuming I recover, it's going to hurt a lot when it hits me, because I did feel for my dad a lot and care about him and push to be active with him as much as possible, And I'm hurting because of my depersonalization disorder. I feel cut off from the world, my emotions, intrusive thoughts, dissociating. Sucks. My dream is still there of filmmaking and being myself, but it's through this fractal of this disorder. It's like a bad drug trip. Yet I'm still somewhat with it, able to talk. It's just hard. You don't see it. Like, you see me, I seem fine, but in each bout, I haven't known when I was making progress towards getting better until it just happened. And all I'm remembering is the good. I loved my dad. He made me who I am. Yeah, for good and bad, all my irritable qualities and stuff, but that's fine. That's people, it is what it is. I can't hold that against him. I loved him, and I totally put that to the side. And been talking to my mom a lot and just emphasizing how normally when we talk, and even before I got my disorder again, we talk and we say stuff and whatever. We talk quickly, and even if we talk for a while, it's like, we're good, and it's like, okay, I gotta go. Or she's saying, okay, Angela, I gotta go. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. And now, she's missing my dad in the home, hearing his footsteps and stuff. Just hearing him get up to go to the bathroom, to eat, watch TV. And I was even scared to death. Not scared to death, but scared when she wasn't answering the phone for a little while this morning. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And turns out she just went to CVS and didn't bring her cell phone. I'm like, okay, makes sense. But I was like, oh, come on. Like, what is going on? We're just talking a lot. And I'm trying to lay out clearly why it's so important we talk. I always have my hang-ups and stuff. I'm trying not to cry. And I don't want other people to cry. I'm gonna roll down the window a little. And, it's like we're always sort of, my mom and I, we're good. Like, of course, we love each other. But, it's always sort of this, almost this, not totally obviously, but like this business relationship. Like, okay, we're going to do this, whatever. And obviously, I think the world of my mom. She's hilarious, funny, touching, warm, kind. She knows people. Like, she's not well educated in college and stuff. Like, she didn't go to college, but it totally doesn't even make a difference. I don't even need a caveat to that. It's like, she knows people. She's smart. She can read them so quickly. She can read me, even if she gets some false positives where she's like, oh, you're hiding something. I'm like, what? Nothing. But she knows me, and it was just important I tell her, look, Mom, let's just talk as long as we want now. There's nothing more important. I'm her oldest son. She had me when she was very young. Like, I'm 34, she's 56, so like 22. And Obviously, we have a very special thing. She's not just a parent to me. Like you think of some people are parents, she's my... Yeah, obviously a lot of people, they're friends with their parents too, but I don't know how to describe it. There's no one else I treat like that who I have in videos, and it's like she's just my funny character in a way. Moist Andy kind of is too, but we always have a healthy respect and distance, and my mom and I, she knows me better than anyone on earth. So it's real important when I talk to her, I just keep saying, like, Mom, isn't it good that we're talking? Like, it's so good. I'm glad we're talking. It's so good to talk to you. I'm so glad I'm going to keep saying it over and over. You're my mom. Even though I always felt like my life didn't matter, and I still always have that feeling, I'm like, it does matter that you're my mom. I'm your son. I ask her, like, you know how special you are to me, right? It's so funny to think this little Greek lady, and in a way you'd like want to protect her and stuff, and yet she's the protector in a way too, but she needs support. And she has a lot of it. Right now, people are over at her house, comforting her. And my brothers, giving gifts, food. She has a lot of support. It hurts, it's tough. She's got the house situation now, trying to pay for the house. How's that gonna go? We don't know. It's kind of like, we'll deal with that, you know. But it's really important that I tell her how special she is to me. How much I love her. How much I know she loves me. How special I know I am to her. How I know she'd be proud if I was doing anything. I could just have an ordinary job and she'd be perfectly happy with me. But just the fact that we have this relationship with film and video, where she's met some of her favorite people and stuff, and celebrities like Logic and Pete Davidson, and where she's been exposed to these amazing movies she didn't know about, like Dodsworth and Alex Proyas movies, and she heard of Gone with the Wind, but she hadn't seen it, and Harold Lloyd films, which she absolutely loves. Her life's been so much more. I even remember when I moved out in 2011 after my brother attacked me, and I was a little too, scaly about it, like tough, and she was hurt and she was scared, and she said, Angelo, you're different. I was like, why? You got Michael and Philip? She's like, no, you're different. You show me these movies and stuff. You show me these things that are different. And I moved out for like 6 months and came back. But the first time I came back to visit, she not only came up to hug me, she did this little dance. She was so excited I was back. And I always felt bad that I did that. I sort of had to move out, but it breaks my heart how she was like, brought me breakfast one morning and wanted to act like, that I wish I was easier on her. And I said, okay, I'll stay at least another day. When she came into my room and she's like, Angelo, I made breakfast, and she was scared and her teeth weren't missing. She didn't have her teeth filled in yet. That's okay. Like, I've apologized sincerely for that. It still hurts me that I ever did that. It's tough because, I was in an abusive environment, but and when I'm well, I want to apologize to her again for that. It's one thing to apologize when I'm hurting and stuff, but I want to be well and say, how much I mean to her, or she means to me. And I always fantasized about doing this special, like almost like a roast of her, but not a roast. Just like this big, amazing appreciation show where I bring out all these, like, whatever, local comedians or whatever. We work on an act and to do retrospectives of her, almost like a non-lifetime achievement thing, because she's still relatively young, but you see what I'm saying? It's like, do this great. I wanted to have a big show where it's almost like the roast thing, where it's like the person sitting in like almost a big throne, and we're doing this big thing. And I was telling her about it last night, this fantasy that I've had, like one day just doing that for her. Like, it's the Angelo's Mom, whatever show, appreciation show, like, or Magical Hour or something, with special guests, like almost this retro thing, and so funny, and we make jokes about her, make fun of her and stuff, and let her say stuff and insult people back, and just have a ton of fun, and make her feel like the most special person, and sort of like a roast, but not really roasting her. I wouldn't want to do that to her. Like, it would be more like light mocking, but jokes that are always, making her laugh, and are more supportive of her. I can take a roast and stuff. Other people get, and I'm sure she could in a way, but it's like, I don't want that. That's not my mom for her to get. She would deserve basically this thing, like she's the most incredible person there, and like she just can't believe how much everyone appreciates her, and how they come out and be like, Angelo's mama, what the, almost like Don Rickles, But again, Don Rickles, because the way he made fun of people, it was always, you could tell he loved them when he made fun of them. And then, sure enough, he would always end with like such sincere words of love, like with no wisecracks at the end. Maybe he did, but in general, just more in the direction of support and jokes in support of her, not jokes mocking her, even if it is jokes in love with her. We're hurting. And, I asked, should I come over? And she's like, no, Angelo, you need to be there. You need to be well. There's nothing you can do here. You'll hate it here. There's nothing here. We're a phone call away. And she wants to come here and visit. Even if I'm not recovered and able to film and stuff, she wants to visit. And I think that'd be good for her too. See a different environment. And I'm somehow trusting I'll recover this time from my DPDR, my depersonalization, derealization, because I've been through it before. Scary as it is, I always came out a better person. A better listener, more understanding, less angry. If you can believe all that. Like what, I was even less of a listener and more angry before? But yeah, we were, and more creative, more outgoing. Yeah, always changed, but it's tough because I can't picture it. When I picture it, I'm getting impatient with myself. And obviously, yeah, if I didn't have to be patient, I could just have the answer right now. Like, oh, I'll know how I'll get better. Last time, I was sick for 9 months. I had to be patient because I didn't know how I'd get better. I was 100% certain I would have bet everything on my life that I wasn't going to recover. So I have to be patient. It's nice to talk. I can't even process the stuff about my dad. Sucks, but I know he loved me and I loved him. It was the greatest. It sucks that my life is so screwed up in general, but I hope this is a story of overcoming. And however long from now, a month, 2 months, 5 months, I hope it's not that long, that we're doing much better, that I'm recovered and able to put my mom back as the star that she is, And she doesn't care in a way. I mean, yeah, she's glad for it, but she's not disappointed in me in the slightest. Not in the least. And I used to think that. I'm disappointed in myself, obviously, for getting sick. But I remember even asking last time over and over, like, Mom, I'm sorry. Are you disappointed in me and stuff if I'm not a filmmaker? She's like, no, Angelo, I'm proud of you no matter what. But sure enough, she knew I would be a filmmaker again. And I was even asking hospital staff when I stayed in the mental hospital 7 years ago or so, saying am I a loser? Am I pathetic for being here or whatever? And as much as they tried to explain it, it didn't really help in the moment. I mean, it sort of was nice to hear. It's like, they're like, no, if you have diabetes, you take medication, right? Are you a loser for that? But I felt like a loser because I lost my power, my voice, my imagination. Or I should say I didn't lose it. Like my mom says, Angelo, it's there. You have it. It's just you have a disorder. But you're there. And she still swears to me she knows I'll get better. But we talk for already throughout the night, last night and stuff, yesterday, this morning. The hell is that? Was there a notification on my phone? I missed it. I don't know. There wasn't. I don't know. Trick of the light. We talk for a while, and I just say, Mom, let's just keep talking. It's not rushed to get... What else do we have to do? I would talk to you 18 hours a day if I could. No problem at all. Not even any effort. Because what do we have that's more important right now than supporting each other? The kind of artifice of everything, it's kind of, it's just that. And knowing, okay, how much we care about each other. Yeah, and again, it's one thing to say it now, but I want to say it when I'm well and feeling fiery and stuff, feeling myself and doing this great show that I want to do for my mom live in front of an audience. So not just on video, but I want to invite an audience out, get them to participate, make it a whole thing where people are a part of it. It's full of surprises, twists. Maybe I get special guests there. And I get to say this stuff, and I get to apologize and say, Mom, I was wrong. To ever hurt you or leave you even momentarily. And of course, since then, she's grown to where she understands. Yeah, when I go, it's what's best for me and I'm following my dream and we're still together. It's like we're just a phone call away. So really when we talk, it's not even like we're far apart. And, I was telling her I want to hold her and stuff. Wish I could hold her. My own mental image of everything is screwed up, so I don't even feel quite the same things, but I know she's there, and I don't feel the same things about other people. It hurts. But yeah, I trust her when she says she knows me better than anyone on earth. And she knows I'll recover, and I need her to recover. Yeah, obviously it'll never be the same, but we can have good lives. Lots of people go through this. It hurts. It's sad. It's terrible. And yet, we are able to live well. And I know she'll be okay in a way. I know that she's so strong, man. I tell her I wish I was like her. I wish I was stronger and braver and didn't have this disorder where I dissociate and stuff. I don't feel like myself. I've been talking to other friends too. Other friends have been good support. I even reached out to a friend. I met her years ago. And at the time, I had a crush on her and stuff. And she knew that stuff. And she was super, super nice and understanding and a great friend. And, nothing really came of it. And we just stayed friends. And we met somewhere and then moved back. It was just sort of on a trip. And then she went back to her home. I went back to mine. We did talked every day for months. I almost forgot about this now because it was a different time. And I didn't realize how deranged and neurotic and upset I was. And I couldn't believe someone would listen to me like she would and just be patient and be a friend. She's been a good friend. And she got married and stuff and moved a little bit. And so we haven't seen each other in person again, but it doesn't really matter. It's just weird. Some people, you can always reach out to them. And there's no pressure there. And so I called her up today and she picked up. First phone call. And I haven't talked to her on the phone in over a year, at least. And we email once in a while. Really, I email her and but she doesn't keep up with a lot of people. It's funny. She's a real homebody in Arkansas. And just stays with her husband and has a nice place and stuff. And she sent me pictures and everything. Just real simple life in a way. And once in a while I'll email her, ask how's it going, and then send her a funny video I made or a funny video I found online and update her on what I'm doing. I told her when I moved into my car and stuff, and just to update her. And it was funny. She needed a job reference from a friend, and I was the only person she could go to because I was the only person who kept up with her. So I gave her one. And I talked to her today. I don't know how long we talked, 20, 30 minutes. The time goes so fast when I talk on the phone. But it was nice to talk to her, and she's just super supportive and friendly. and a person I can say is a real friend over the years. Whenever I've had trouble, I tend to reach out to her. Like, hey, my girlfriend dumped me. Hey, you know, I'm in this problem with my house. Hey, whatever. You know. And just, I'm amazed that she's super supportive, and I'm glad. I didn't even think to reach out to her. I forgot about getting back to her about anything. And I was like, okay, I need to talk to someone else now. I've been reaching out to some people, reaching out to more people, the same people. Reached out to her, and it's good just to hear, you know, a friend talk, feel normal. I laid in my car way too long today. I feel better when I move, even though each moment I dread moving. Because I'm just afraid it'll hurt worse than it will. That's the anxiety. And I got to clear my mind in a way. And I did get recommended the Headspace app. It's $70 a year. I have the free trial for 14 days. Already like a day or two is up. I got to listen to it. And a friend told me that that really has helped him. So I'm like, sure, I'll try it. And I know he's been through a lot in his life, so. But yeah, I've just been telling my mom over and over, and it's so nice to say, even though I'm not myself yet, I don't feel myself, I don't feel everything, I'm so glad I can feel a little bit. I'm not in my worst, where I tell my mom over and over, Mom, let's just talk. We have nothing more important to do. I need you to be well. You need me to be well. And she's like, yeah, Angelo, the last thing I need is your health or anything. I can't deal. I said, I know. I'm going to take care of myself. Even though I look like shit. I'm going to shower. I'll exercise some. I'm going to try and eat well. Not let my anxiety ruin my appetite. Take my vitamins, even though I've been slacking. And trust that I'm recovering. Have patience. But I keep telling her over and over, Mom, I'm so glad to be talking to you. Call me literally any time of day. We have nothing more important to deal with right now. You're my mom. I'm your son. I love you. I know how much you love me. I'm just saying things to feel real, you know, like I know how special I am to you. And normally we don't say stuff like this. Like, she'll even avoid it, you know, too, and I'll avoid it too. Like, oh yeah, whatever, sure. And it's fun, you know, it's fine. Like, but you know, it's good to say that stuff, and I hope we're more open about that in the future. Assuming that I'll recover. And that I'm myself again, and I don't just wall myself up as much. Everybody has to wall themselves up in a way, but just to be more open. Thank goodness I have been better about that over the years. And yeah, just knowing what a special woman my mom is, a special person. Just telling her over and over, I love you, and you're my mom, and I'm your son. We need each other. Let's be well. I know it hurts about Dad, but please, let's be well. Let's be well for him. And she wants to visit here sometime, even if I'm not well. I said, yeah, who cares if I'm not well? Even if I can't make all the videos I'd like to, visit. Because it's better for her, I think, to visit here than me visit Virginia. Virginia's miserable. It's miserable for my mom now, and it's always been miserable for me. It just sucks the environment. I don't like it. It's not even like I associate anything particularly bad about it. It sucks. It's small. I don't like it. I like the big open spaces, but still having a city nearby. And people are noticing me progressing. Can't stand it, you know, I can't stand it. I can't think about it too much with my dad and all. If I wasn't in this disorder, I would be utterly devastated and beside myself about my dad. I get so devastated by the smallest things, the smallest rejections and disappointments. So, you know, I'm trusting things work out for the best, and he had a long, great life, and we had a great life together. It made me who I am. Other people get through this, and I'm hoping I recover. I have to be patient with myself, and I just keep telling my mom I'm so glad to talk to her, and we do laugh sometimes, we do joke, and as much as it hurts me even to talk now. With this damn disorder. I forget what it's like to be myself, but that's okay. I forgot what it was like to be myself each time, and what happened? 3 times I bounced back, so I figure, okay, my body knows a way to recover. It's like, how do you know how to make yourself recover from a cold or the flu or something? You don't. You don't make yourself. Your body recovers and you aid the recovery. It's a really hard thing with a mental disorder because I can't just feel, like I get the physical symptoms and stuff. It's a sensory thing, so my senses are messed up. I'm sorry about the light. I keep shifting around. I can't even feel myself. I feel like my life is pointless now. Except I know it's not. And like I said, I know I matter to my mom. I'm talking to my youngest brother, Philip. He's real supportive. He saw me through a lot last time, my disorder. Literally was like next to my bed sometimes when I was hurting so bad and so alone and scared. And even when I was walking into his room at 3, 4, 5 in the morning in hysterical pain, and he would be willing to talk to me even though he was exhausted and had to get up for work, and he would instant message me at work. And I just have a hard time, being close to people close to me in a way. And so we haven't talked much over the years. And he's like, Angelo, I know you isolate when you get better. And he's like, believe me, even if that's what it takes for you never to talk to me again, if you never talk to me again, if that's what it takes for you to get better, I'd rather you be better and thriving. I said, sorry, thanks, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to be like that just to keep from dissociating, really. Because that's what I do. I have to avoid certain triggers, and it's weird. And I don't want to have to, and he's been a good support, listening to me for hours and hours. Even when he's hurting, and he somehow keeps it together. I don't get it, but I'm a very depressive person, maybe more so than him, much more so. He can be too, I'm sure. And, even in this difficult time, I think of Viktor Frankl's quote, in difficult times, it's like you think, well, what can I expect from life? And you have to turn it around and say, well, what does life expect from you? And life doesn't expect me to be better all at once right now. How could it? Who could? Literally, who could? The strongest person on earth, mentally, emotionally, who could just all of a sudden get better from this right away? No one could. So life doesn't expect me to. Life doesn't expect me to be a loser just for not getting better now. Life doesn't expect me to have all the answers. Life doesn't expect me to be perfectly patient through the process. All I can say is I can do what I can. Sucks the disorder. I'm looking around me and still my senses aren't the same. And I'm hoping, just like last time, I had my low points and then I came to triumph. I don't know how. I don't see it. That's the disorder. I don't see it. But good thing is, my mom and I talk whenever, and she has the next 2 weeks off from her job for Christmas, so we're going to be talking a lot. And my friend who I met years ago, that woman I told you about, will be talking a lot. My other friends, my youngest brother. Thank goodness my mom has support. I'm like, please, Mom, have lots of support there. Please have it. I need her to be well. I was scared those 30 minutes or so she didn't answer the phone. She left her cell phone at home and she went to CVS. I was like, oh my goodness, what the fuck happened? She was fine, sure enough, but I'm like, we both need to be well, and she's encouraging me to be healthy, and that's good. Like, yeah, my life does matter, even though I've always had these horrible impulses that my life doesn't matter, it doesn't make a difference, I'm not supposed to live. I always had this guilt, and thinking, well, I can live with that, and that's not anything permanent, it's not the universe. Maybe I'll always feel it in a way, but it's something I can work with and overcome, and like I had been overcoming these last few months. And make sure I'm well with myself again. So I didn't sleep great last night. I think it's more my disorder, because I can't sleep well sometimes with it. I forgot to take my medicine, or I was too tired to get out to the trunk of my car and get it. But you know, I'm telling my mom over and over again each time I talk to her, I love her. Please keep going, keep surviving. I'll keep surviving. We'll be well. We gotta be well. And how special she is. And I just keep saying, you're my mom and I'm your son. That's real. We need each other more than anything. Let's not end the conversation on the phone soup. Let's just keep talking and talking. Who cares? This is not a time when like, oh, we're busy, got to do stuff. I mean, sometimes that comes up, but it's a time where, okay, if she wants to talk and I'm able to, I'm going to talk as long as we can. And tell each other over and over good things. And I even ask her, like, you feel better talking to me, right? She's like, of course, of course. Normally we never say stuff like that. So it's like, I almost don't know, you know? I say, I feel better talking to her. I need to get through this disorder now, and it's still my number one task, unfortunately. My whole family needs to recover from this loss. And I've asked my friends to be patient with me while I recover. I'm not the same normal self I was. So far they are, you know. And I'm going to keep going. I'm not going to let every moment be the absolute worst. I had an okay drive just to the park here to use the porta potty and film this. I'll go to the gym, shower. I'm not going to torture myself needlessly. And I know I'll keep living. And I must recover. I don't know how. But I didn't know how every time. And I will, and trust my mom. Even though it scares me to death when I think, oh, I don't know how, just let it happen. Well, how is it going to happen? The question immediately comes up. I feel like when that happens, life keeps asking me, well, how's it going to happen, Angelo? And when I say, okay, I'll be patient, it's like life says, okay, I'll be patient. You know, nothing magical about it. It's how we work in ourselves, you know. It's our own psychology. Viktor Frankl talked about that a lot. So I could go on for a while. Maybe I'll do a live stream at some point. I love my mom and dad. I love my dad and appreciate everyone. And I'm going to keep talking to my mom and giving her strength and support, and she gives it to me as well.